appears people's opinion on this chapter has been extremely mixed. And to be fair, I have yet to watch a single reaction of this chapter or any other so far as well, so I cannot really speak out from them of knowing what did they dislike or what did they dislike. I mean, I can definitely see what parts may have disliked, but you know, once again, the angry anime fan here to present to you One Piece chapter 896. My opinions, what I dislike, is probably a little bit different. So first of all, Hayudrin is on the cover page this time of the side story, and I have to say I really dislike his well, non-gladiatorially clothes. It's basically just the same as he had before, only this time he has a fur-like coat, sort of, on him. I mean, I'm just saying, come on, dude, at least wear pants or something instead of those boxers. Ugh. Well, either way, in this chapter itself, time is going on as suddenly one of the decouplets questions what would happen if Katakuri were to be defeated. And of course no one of the Charlotte family believes that's true, because they see Katakuri as the perfect man, proving once again that Katakuri is the strongest. Once he is out of the picture, all the other Charlotte family members are gonna be trash. So they all believe that he just survived by running away over and over, stuff like that. They're also questioning that the only way for Luffy to escape the mirror is to get Brûlé. And Brûlé is missing right now. Seeing that she is very clumsy, it's very likely she got caught. So, well, they will wait until 1 a.m. And then, well, we will probably capture them all. Sanji has, on the other hand, finally reached it, is in the corner, have the cloak and a cigarette in his hand, while Pudding is very far away. As he recalls all the time he saw her, says they will soon part. Apparently Pudding wants to thank him, but she still puts her angry face on. However, strangely enough, Sanji just takes that very casually and just says, "I'm glad you were my fiancé, Pudding-chan." So I mean, in the end, Sanji had a kind heart. This almost makes me question, is it possible that when Sanji cried during that rain, it was because he read Pudding's heart? I mean, right now I would prefer Oda saying that Sanji cried because he read Pudding's heart, not because his heart was broken. Because in the end, Sanji took all of this just like this. I mean, again, I do not know, and I don't like how Oda has treated Sanji this entire arc. It's okay if Sanji is kind-hearted, because after all, he has done a lot of kind-hearted stuff during the One Piece run. But does he always have to be such a doormat? Does he always have to be such a not gonna be a power or anything? It's something I do not like. So, well, Pudding can only cry happy tears. But then Pudding asks one final thing as she points towards his cigarette. What is that meant to be? She wants Pudding for Sanji to quit cigaretting? Is that what's gonna happen? Or is it possible that Pudding's gonna erase his memory of her moments and the cigarettes? Either way, back to the fight. Last time we saw apparently Dogtooth and Katakuri and Luffy were to clash. And well, we get a weird picture that appears that none of their attacks did connect, or did they? I mean, it didn't appear that none of their attacks actually connected to each other, although it looks more like Luffy's connected more than Katakuri's did. Either way, Luffy falls down a floor with his gear 4th being extinguished, and Katakuri falls on the floor. It's a draw, so to speak. Elsewhere on Whole Cake Island, Morgans is actually lampshading that if he were to escape this way, that will be truly big news. Oh, and here we have a very weird position. Charlotte Campote is back in the whole cake island. Last time we saw her, she was supposed to be on a ship sailing towards you know who. So I mean, I'm all for her not being there because, quite frankly, Uda has wasted a lot of character this arc, and that's the problem when you introduce too many characters. The people want these characters to shine, but they will never get their moments to shine because there are just too many. So unfortunately, that's one of the mistakes Uda made this arc. He introduced a lot of interesting designs and a lot of characters, but their moments to shine, nah, they will not get their moments to shine. So we just have to accept that. Of course, the skeleton guy Monteor is do not want anyone to scoop this because, well, they swallow their pride in order to create a military to the quirk of fate. Instead, he threatens Morgan by saying that once Straw Hat's killed and they will cut off their heads as a warning to the world. Take that as a moment. He even says that even if a Pirate King Gold Roger himself were to emerge from the mirror, he wouldn't get away. Monteor, 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 your arrogance actually makes me want to vomit. You are so naive. If that was Pirate King Roger himself, he would have slayed every single one. After all, he was the only man who could fight evenly with Whitebeard, the strongest man in the world. Although now, to be fair, I actually begin to question if Uda really was telling the truth when he said Whitebeard was the strongest man in the world, especially from what we've seen of Big Mom or Kaido. Then again, in a normal standpoint of view, I think Whitebeard really was the strongest man, because after all, Big Mom is a mutant, and Kaido, well, people call Kaido a creature, not a man, so in the end, maybe he was true, the strongest man. Of course, the CP0 agent just says that this is kind of horrible taste. Elsewhere, it appears Capone is actually willing to them to get to the island. However, he is also saying, we may have come from different corners of this world, but if we die, we'll all die together. Still not delivered the cake. Elsewhere, the Straw Hat Pirates are soon close to Coco Island, as they all begin to say that Luffy will probably not know to get out of the mirror because he doesn't have Brûlée. And for time, as it's 12:47, Luffy stretches himself out from the field and raises him up. As he sees Katakuri stands before him, Katakuri asks, will you one day defeat Big Mom? And Luffy, with his undying will, yes says, of course, I am gonna be the Pirate King. And with that, Katakuri says, guess you really can see the future. And he falls down on the floor, defeated. The winner of this match is Luffy. Of course, I think this is where people had their first complaining, mostly because both Luffy and Katakuri fell down on the ground defeated. So in a way, people are gonna pull up the logic that Luffy did not win against the fight against Katakuri. It was a draw. However, when he got up to the field, Katakuri was also down, so Katakuri fell down before. So in a way, this is not Luffy's win, it's a draw. I think that's what a lot of haters are saying. And you know, I want to say, screw you, Luffy won. He may not have won like he had won before, but Katakuri has lampshaded the one thing I always wanted to know. Will Luffy defeat Big Mom? Yes, he will, because now he is seeing close to the future. Katakuri was the strongest of the Charlotte family member. Luffy managed to over-stamina him just the same as the Rob Lucci fight. Luffy won. So with that, Luffy takes out his fake hat and actually covers Katakuri's mouth. That is kind of heartwarming. He too acknowledged Katakuri as a worthy opponent. And elsewhere, Brûlée has appeared, who is crying and actually in shock that Katakuri could be fine. And she's captured by a guy who's calling himself Mysteroms, but it's definitely Pickums, who finally has gotten to his senses. I mean, it was about damn time. Pedro saved them, their lives, so therefore Pickums do not want them to lose here. It was about damn time, Pickums. Of course now, though, we just have to question one very big amount of logic. How the hell did Peckhams get into the mirror? The only one who can allow them to enter mirror is Brule. Wasn't Brule already in the mirror world? Or was she for some reason stupid enough to go to the whole cake island? Peckhams took her and then just suddenly went into the mirror world himself? Uda, I mean, I'm all for Peckhams pulling a heel-face turn, but how he got into the mirror, I don't think that is gonna be, well, to what a lot of logic people stand feud. To be true, to be fair, I hate logic with a burning passion. There's no need for logic in a story sometimes. Let's just go with the flow. And I'm sorry, I cannot scream enough. Someone is sleeping. So either way, at 12:55, almost at 0, Sanji has a Denden Mushi, no longer a cigarette. Straw Hats are seeing Kako Island, and everyone is readying their weapons for Straw Hat to come out. The fight against Katakuri is finally over. Now comes the fight to survive the Charlotte family members. What will happen? Who knows? Again, as I said before, people's opinions on this chapter I've heard on Twitter has been extremely mixed. Mostly bad. Because I haven't seen a single reaction, so I cannot find out what they exactly thought was bad. So, what is my opinions on this chapter? Well, Katakuri finally lost! Peckhams finally decided to help the Straw Hats. And finally, the Straw Hats reached Kako Island. And finally, Sanji is making his move. Those are the things I take for this chapter that I'm satisfied with. But true, nothing happened. So it's an okay chapter for me. I liked it, even though nothing really did happen. So now I'm just curious what will happen now if Oda can just increase the pacing a little bit. Is Sanji still gonna be the doormat? Hell yes he will be. Will Sanji get his ass kicked out of him? Yes he will, because Sanji is Oda's least favorite character. That's the only complaint I take with this one. And also, dropping the cigarette, Sanji has smoked for 25 years. Is he just gonna quit like that? Is that gonna be his character development from all of this? Well, I didn't like smoking myself. I mean, I hate smoking. So, Sanji just smoked because it was cool, so who knows? Give me your thoughts if you have any.